Welcome to Adventist News Update, where we let you know what's happening in Adventist news in the Bahamas and around the world. The State of the Conference, a convention-style meeting of the South Bahamas Conference, was held on January 14th at 4 p.m. at the Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church on Tonic Williams Darling Highway. God's people from the family of islands and throughout Nassau came together in an awesome worship experience. Among the many in attendance were the president of the Atlantic Caribbean Union Mission, Dr. Leonard Johnson, and his fellow administrators. Also, the president of the Bahamas Christian Council, Dr. Ranford Patterson, who in his remarks expressed gratitude for the work that the Seventh-day Adventist Church continues to do in the community through education, youth, and health ministries. He further told the audience of the council's decision to have the Seventh-day Adventist Church lead the council in its effort to call Christians and the nation at large to a greater health awareness. An array of choirs performed, and the testimonies of God's goodness ascended. The evening was capped with a spiritual charge by Pastor Paul Scavala, president of the South Bahamas Conference, entitled This Gospel. Members were charged to have mingling power and to be the salt of the earth as they make a difference in 2012. God with Us was the theme of the conclave. The service was broadcast live on ZNIS TV 13, but if you missed it, rebroadcast will be aired this evening at 10 p.m. and again on Sunday, January 22nd at 8 p.m. right here on ATV 53. The weekend culminated on Sunday, January 15th at 8 a.m. at the Hillview Church. The South Bahamas Conference hosted its church offices for 2012 to a variety of workshops that would assist them in more meaningful service to their congregations. Also on January 15th, more than 20 members of the South Bahamas Conference braved the early morning chill as they participated in the 3rd annual Marathon Bahamas race. There were 3 relay teams that tackled the 26.2-mile race, while others ran the half marathon. Everyone who entered the event completed, and we say congratulations to our runners, for we know the race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but he who endures until the end. There were 600 participants overall in the Marathon Bahamas, so make sure you sign up for Team SBC next year and practice a healthy lifestyle. This year, Bahamas Academy is proudly boasting 100 years of providing quality Christian education in the Bahamas. The beginning of these celebrations will be on January 27th and 28th. As you know, it's all started with a handful of students at the Wolf Road campus, and today the students are as equally excited to be a part of this significant milestone at the new facilities on Marshall Road. So it's time for you to get energized as well. Contact Mahala Moxie for your commemorative t-shirts, and as the 100th year activities begin, that's celebrating the great things God has done for and through Bahamas Academy. Departmental directors from throughout the Atlantic Caribbean Union Mission will attend advisory meetings during January 31st and February 1st at the Union headquarters on Gladstone Road in Nassau, Bahamas. Guided by the Union's strategic plan, church leaders will prayerfully plan programs designed to realize each department's objectives and the goals of revival and reformation, an initiative of the Adventist World Church. According to Pastor Leonard Johnson, president of ACUM, revival and reformation will be the focus of the Adventist World Church for the next 5 years. The aim of the initiative is to encourage members to develop and maintain a close relationship with Christ through prayer and Bible study, and to share their faith with others. At these meetings, not only will the directors spend time planning, but will also take time to pray and meditate on God's Word. Guest speaker at the worship sessions will be Pastor Leon Wellington, Vice President of the Inter-American Division of Seventh-day Adventists. We've been talking about it for weeks, and it's almost time for the Orlando Health Summit, scheduled for January 27th to February 5th. For additional information on this event, please contact Mrs. Flowers at the South Bahamas Conference at 341-4021 or Ida May Hannah at 323-5473. On another note, on Wednesday, 4th January 2012, the well-loved Vera Albertha Binney, also called Sister Binney or Aunt Vera, passed away at the age of 99 years. Sister Binney was born on April 7th, 1912 to Albert and Louise Henfield. In 1961, she married the late Nicholas Binney of Kingston, Jamaica, who won her heart while working as a colporteur in the Bahamas. The couple has one son, Joseph. And Vera was a loving wife who sewed her own clothing and cooked her vegetarian meals daily. She worked as a practical nurse in many private homes where she lovingly cared for elderly persons. But she is known by many of us as our first teacher. Sister Binnie started her own preschool and nursery, which was affectionately called Binnie University or Binnie High on Mackey Street. Many of us, including my brother and I, passed through Binnie School with fond memories of that little wooden building. This preschool was actually the feeder school for Bahamas Academy Elementary. A legacy continued with the Centerville Preschool under the leadership of Myrtle Scavallo. Sister Binnie loved music, and as a faithful member of the New Anglican Seventh-day Adventist Church, she played the piano or the organ every Sabbath right up to her 98th birthday. Her two nieces, Vesta Williams and Sharon Lotmore Bootle, committed their lives to her care and comfort once she became confined to bed. And despite what she had to endure during this past year, they said she never complained, and her resolve was always, if it's the Lord's will. In November 2006, she received commendations for her sterling contributions to the Seventh-day Adventist Church from the then West Indies Union at the centennial celebrations in Jamaica. Funeral services for Sister Vera Binnie are scheduled for January 22nd at 2 p.m. at the Living Faith Seventh-day Adventist Church on Old Trail Road. And as we take a moment to pay tribute to this quiet warrior in the work of Christ, the entire South Bahamas Conference extends sincere condolences to her family during this time of their bereavement. In news from the North Bahamas Conference, it's convention time in the North, and the activities began last weekend in the district of Abaco at the Marsh Harbor Seventh-day Adventist Church with guest speaker Pastor Al Powell, Personal Ministries Director of the Atlantic Caribbean Union Mission. And for the District of Grand Bahama, convention convened January 18th and will run through to the 21st. On Friday evening, two separate services will be held at 7 p.m. for the youth and adults, and guest Pastor Donovan Washington of the Bethany Seventh-day Adventist Church in Macon, Georgia, will address the youth at the Freeport Seventh-day Adventist Church, while Dr. Charles Wellesley Knight, Senior Pastor of the Decatur Seventh-day Adventist Church in Atlanta, Georgia, will minister to the adults at the Shiloh Seventh-day Adventist Church. On Sabbath morning at 9:15, the youth convention will move to the Canvas Cathedral on the grounds of Grand Bahama Academy, and the services for the adults will continue at Shiloh. In Adventist World News, in a time when the youth of the world seem to be going to an uncertain path, here's a group of people who are determined to make a difference in the lives of other youth. A youth challenge team of the Pennsylvania Conference Mission recently moved into their new home on 68th Street in Philadelphia after working for months in renovating the building. The interns recently hosted a group of young people for an afternoon of praise and testimony. The 68th Street home is designed to be a place of joy, hope, prayers, and praise. A place where young people will grow in relationship with Christ through the Chestnut Hill Church's Reach Philadelphia ministry, REACH, which stands for Restoration, Empowerment, Action, Community, and Hope, is focused on raising up a new Seventh-day Adventist congregation in Philadelphia and ultimately a new generation of leaders in the Adventist Church who are actively involved in sharing the good news of Jesus Christ and his soon return. The home will be for the interns who will be reaching young professionals and young people on the more than 90 colleges and university campuses in Philadelphia. It would also provide a meeting place for the ministry. Well, this has been News Update on behalf of the production team of the Adventist TV here at the South Bahamas Conference headquarters. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful Sabbath. I'm Andrea Musgrove for Adventist TV.